Well, joining us on the broadcast on the special discussion is Mohan Vishwa. He's the spokesperson from the Karnataka BJP. We also have Mr. Nagaraju Yadav, who's the spokesperson for the Karnataka Congress. Mr. Abhishek Banerjee, who's a columnist, is also joining us on the broadcast. And Professor Chandan Gaura, who's the R.K. Hegde Chair, Professor at the ISEC, the Institute for Social and Economic Change, is also with us on the broadcast. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us on the show. Mr. Nagaraju Yadav, coming to you first. Will the Congress party be able to get its act together this time? Or this is a repeat of yet another very unfortunate episodes that we have seen, say in Madhya Pradesh or almost on the brink, for example, in Rajasthan?
No, definitely it's not going to happen like Madhya Pradesh or any other state. Karnataka is completely different in political nature, and definitely Congress will come back to power because people are fed up with the BJP's corruption rule. And you've seen your own channel has exposed so many times the capital city, what kind of a city is become today. It's become a garbage city, now pothole city. The Silicon City has gone to what level. You have seen that whole world is talking about Bangalore today. And second thing, you've seen that how the Shivakumar minister was involved in a corruption, and you see now people are very angry with this when the Santosh Patil died. And also, you know it very well how they're misusing the law of giving a B report to the corruption cases.
But sir, allow me this interjection. You will be able to raise all of these issues far more vociferously if your own party was a united lot. If the top two leaders of the Karnataka Congress, sir, are fighting with each other, that too openly, and Mr. D.K. Shivakumar has to call for a disciplinary action against one of the Congress leaders, what does it show about the party?
No, I'm telling you, let it be anybody, let it be Nagaraj Yadav. We should have some discipline in the party, and that cannot be tolerated if somebody is trying to violate the discipline of the party. No doubt about it. When the KPCC chief has said not to speak about these things because we believe in collective leadership, and also Rahul Gandhi and Sonia Gandhi has made it 100 times clarified. They're saying that we believe in a collective leadership. Collective leadership is the agenda for Congress, and we want to bring all sections of society into power by Congress coming back to power.
Sir, let me raise another point with you before I bring in my other guest. Then why there was a very particular pitch by Mr. D.K. Shivakumar to the vokkaliga community? If this is about inclusive development beyond caste lines, which it should be, I agree that all political parties make that pitch, but the similar pitch was made by your party as well to the vokkaliga vote bank in the state.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead, if you can hear me.
You're asking me?
Yes, sir. I'm asking you. All right, we'll try and fix that. In the meanwhile, I want to go to Mr. Mohan Vishwa, the Karnataka BJP spokesperson. Mr. Vishwa, the problems and the troubles within the Congress party, the BJP must be very ecstatic looking at it. However, they go on to say that do not focus about the problems within the Congress. Instead, look at the bad state of affairs or the rule of law which the BJP has failed to establish in the state of Karnataka.
See, Anusha, the present situation of Congress in Karnataka is like Ghar Ek Darwaza Chalis. I'm repeating again, it's Ghar Ek Darwaza Chalis. So every leader wants to become a chief minister. It started from Siddaramaiah, then it went to D.K. Shivakumar, then it went to MP Patil, then Zameer Ahmad Khan, then next Parmeshwar, then next Mr. Karme. The list keep on going. They don't want developmental politics. They don't want the development of the people of the Karnataka. They just want, they're hungry for power, and also they're known for decisive politics. Talk to Mr. Siddaramaiah, the moment you go in front of him and if you talk something, he will talk only about caste, nothing. So they are known for dividing the society based on caste. So they don't want any developmental politics. And see, there is something called
in all fairness, doesn't that criticism hold true for all political parties, whether it's an appeal to the vokkaligas or the Lingayat community?
See, in politics or in any government for that matter, we should take care of every caste, every religion, every subcaste for that matter. So that should happen through development. Okay, the caste itself should not become politics. Whereas in politics, there should be a representation for caste. So there is a difference between those two. The difference between the two is, yes, a leader from a particular community should be there in the government. It doesn't mean that that particular caste itself should become a politics. See, that's the problem with the Congress.
Let's try and take an political view about what is happening within the Congress party. Professor Chandan Gaura, I'm coming to you. Do you see this as a vertical split? I mean, the fact that there is serious attempt being made by Mr. Siddaramaiah to show that he's not retiring from politics. Next month on his birthday, it is being reported that there are youth celebrations which have been planned. The party or the workers are going to show, or his supporters are going to show the sort of work that he has done. Mr. D.K. Shivakumar is also consolidating his image. How do you see this ahead of 2023?
Yeah, it is unfortunate. They can be seen as isolated events, standalone events, but they're not. In the sense, as you saw in the last few days, based on various Congress spokespersons, politicians' remarks, responses, very clear that there's a leadership tussle inside. Leadership in the sense of who might be a strong contender, who CM's position. And it's very unfortunate that this contest has come out in the open, has started this early, even before the elections have happened or the party has won, really. So it makes for it's unfortunate. I mean, one would rather not see these sorts of things. But having said that, I think speaking in the name of a community A, community B is not new, and this has been done all along, whether discreetly or not. But at the same time, I think the tendency to claim leadership of this community, that community is fairly natural. But we do know that, except perhaps with the exception of Yediyurappa and to the extent Deve Gowda, there is no pan Karnataka caste community leaders don't exist.
I also want you to give a little bit of perspective about the realignment of the certain vote banks which are happening. As I read about this issue, there's also the entire discourse around the Ahinda vote bank, and is it shifting from one side to another? Is BJP making inroads? And of course, one factor is also the divisions within the Congress party. As far as this vote bank is concerned, do you have anything to say, and especially vis-a-vis the Congress party?
Yes. If Siddaramaiah wants to proclaim himself as an Ahinda leader, but then the talk is all about Kurubas assembling in large numbers for his birthday celebration, it's not quite Ahinda. Some communities have been left out. And then Kharge and Parmeshwar met yesterday saying that here we are representing this other big community, Zameer Khan making a claim as part of his community. So they're all big chunks of communities that can matter hugely for the electoral fate of the Congress. And it has to be managed, if at all, we speak in these terms much more finely. I mean, this sort of infighting within, saying that it does not bode well. But at the same time, the BJP and the JDS, for that matter, are not going to just sit by and watch this happen, or this this sort of claiming large communities as legitimately their vote bank is something that will. It seems premature. They're not solidified vote banks across the state. I don't think any community votes more than 40% of a community votes for one party as things stand, except maybe the Lingayats.